Today we're going to go over vocabulary for TEK 3.5C. Now, TEK 3.5C is an actual third grade TEK, but it hits heavy on heating and cooling. Based on the reporting category assessment we took before the Christmas break, 3.5C actually presented to be kind of a challenge for some of you. So just to go over, like I said, we're going to review over every TEK that we have learned so far, and this will be a continuing strategy until we all take our STAR test and we all 100% of us pass our STAR tests. One way again to only do that is to continue to go over and over and over and over the material until you just kind of basically beat it in your head until you can recite it in your sleep. Anyway, so for this video series, we're gonna go over the vocabulary from STEM Scopes, and I know that I assigned this to you and you watch it on your own. However, I want to ensure that you're actually listening to it and processing what's being said. So the very first vocabulary word is matter, and it says anything that has mass and takes up space. So if you look in the picture, you see like a medicine cabinet, which you might see in your house or under the sink or wherever you put products. You've got hand towels in there, you got toothbrush, you got face wash, looks like a woman's makeup brushes. So anything in the world that has mass and it takes up space. Here's a little thing of Elmer's glue. It has mass. I can put it on a balance beam and measure it, and it takes up space. All right, our next word is heating. Heating, of course, is rising in temperature, getting hotter. Things can get heated by the stove. The sun can heat things up. Friction, if you rub your hands together, your hands get hot. So heating just means that the temperature of something is rising. The next one is cooling. What's the opposite of heating? Cooling. So that's just lowering the temperature, getting cooler. Doesn't mean it's frozen, just means it's getting cooler. For instance, if you're watching this video and it's still January, you know that it's freezing outside. Like it's been in the 20s and teens, significantly cooler than it was before we went on break, which is when it was pretty hot in December. So the temperature is definitely cooling down. That means the temperature is getting lower. Okay. Our next word is going to be temperature. Okay, and that's just a gauge of how hot or so cold something is. It's just a measurement, a way of measuring. You know that if you're not feeling good, your mom or somebody might take your temperature with a thermometer. That's the tool, the thermometer. And the temperature it's just measuring how hot your body is. If you're not sick with an infection, your body usually runs around 97, 98 degrees. However, if you are running a fever, that means your body's trying to fight an infection, and therefore your temperature is going to go up. You're going to get hotter, and usually it can go anywhere from 99 to 104. FYI, public service announcement, if it's 104, call the hospital. It's probably not a good thing. Next is a thermometer. We just kind of touched about that. That's a tool that's used to measure how hot or cold something is. Now, thermometers come in so many different shapes and forms. You've got the standard one that you stick in your mouth. There's some that people don't really use them anymore, but they were clear like a pen. Okay, and you had to read the little mercury. The black ink in this one would be red, and it would be the mercury, and it would go up and down. Nowadays, thermometers are digital. You might see a cooking thermometer where it has a big needle point at the end, and you stick it in the meat, and it measures how hot the meat is, which will indicate whether or not it's edible. Okay, so those are pretty basic words as far as heating and cooling and temperature. If you have any further questions on those, just let me know. So our next word is solid, and that is just something that has a definite shape. This is a solid. This is a solid. This is a solid. It has a definite shape. I can't change this shape. Okay. This is a solid. Okay. I can't change it. Now, if I broke it, it would change its shape. But leaving in its standard shape like this, it's just a solid. Okay. Liquid, that's anything that's can be felt with your hand, and it takes the shape of its container. There's a little bit of soda still left in here. What shape is the soda right now? It's like a cylinder, okay? If I poured it into this glass jar, then it would take what shape? Would it still be a round cylinder? No, it would be more of a square shape, okay? If I poured it, the liquid in the soda, if I poured it into here, it would take, first of all, most of it would spill out, but it would take the little shape of this, okay? So that's just liquid. Liquid just, it spreads out and takes the shape of its container. If I spilled it on the desk, the desk doesn't really contain it, but it would spill out and it would spread everywhere until something stopped it from spreading, okay? And gas. Gas can't be felt with your hand, but it takes the shape of its container, okay? You can't feel gas. You can't feel the air. You know that it fills up the air. Inside of this container, aside from the one Kit Kat that's left, is air. So what shape can we say this air is taking right now? A square, okay? If we close the classroom door, there's still air in this room. It's just now the air is contained in these four walls. Therefore, it makes a big, giant square. So air, let's recap, cannot be felt by your hands, but it does take the shape of its container. Excuse me, wrong way. Liquid can be felt with your hands, and it takes the shape of its container. A solid is something you can see, you can touch, you can feel it, or that is touch. You can, some things you can smell, okay? Those are all things that have definite shape. And then we could say, of course, it doesn't have a definite shape if you break it somehow, but we're not going to get into that. All right, so if you have any questions, let me know.